Have you ever heard someone ask the question, why is there something rather than nothing? This question implies that nothing is just the removal of something, but can we really think about nothing? To try and think of absolutely nothing, we first have to go through something. Or to put it another way, we can only think of nothing in relation to, in opposition to, and after we have already thought something. So to think about nothing, are we actually counterintuitively thinking more than something? Not necessarily in a physical sense, as in atoms combining together to form molecules, therefore molecules are more than atoms, but in the sense that it is something, plus an additional mental operation of removing that something. I wonder if nothing is actually more so an abstract concept, similar to infinity. So what is anything at all? How does everything exist? Why does everything exist? What should we do with our existence?
I'm sure we have all wondered about these existential questions before.
So let's talk about existence. To exist means to have objective reality or being. Now, I wonder if we can truly know what objective reality is, but I will leave that conversation for another time. For now, let's stick with the state of being. To have being seems much more concise. When we look out into the universe, or even look inward at our consciousness, it seems that everything that we can fathom has a state of being. But where did it all come from? Throughout human history, there have been many origin stories and myths passed down from ancient civilizations trying to explain existence, from Greek mythology to Egyptian and Mesopotamian creation myths. Many religions also claim to know that everything in existence came from a specific starting point and was created from a first uncaused cause that has been called God. The Christian religion, for instance, claims that God is and has always been eternally existing outside and within our physical universe. The Bible claims that God created time, space, matter, and everything we know in existence. But I wonder how we would know this to be true. Wouldn't we need substantial evidence to make the claim that an omnipotent, omniscient, thinking mind is the source of everything in existence? And do we have that evidence? I wonder if it's possible that, instead of a specific God, the universe itself could be the first uncaused cause, eternally existing and branching out in all directions. Or maybe a cyclical, bouncing universe that goes through phases, expanding and collapsing infinitely. The universe very well could be an illusion, and we could all be in some sort of simulation. But it seems as if we have the tangible universe as evidence of an actual existence of some sort. I wonder how we can try and measure for a specific religious God that created everything. The question of how everything began to exist might just go unanswered. And if that is the case, are we okay with that? I wonder if we have to know how everything came into existence. So, do we know why everything exists? Is there an ultimate purpose to our existence? To some people, this question seems like it has a simple, straightforward answer. For instance, in Islam, a human being's ultimate life objective for existence is to worship the Creator Allah by abiding by the divine guidelines revealed in the Quran and the tradition of the Prophet Muhammad. Similarly, in Christianity, the Bible teaches that we are created to glorify God, obey His commandments, and share the Word of God with others. It seems as though both of these religious viewpoints are based off of religious texts that were written by humans, who were ultimately given this information from God or Allah somehow. But how can we know it is in fact true? I wonder if there's a way that we can test the validity of the source of inspiration for these writers. How can we test to know that these religious gods mentioned throughout history were in fact revealing themselves to people in some way and relaying this information to them? To make claims on arguably the most fundamental questions we can ever ask, like how and why do we exist, wouldn't we need overwhelming conclusive evidence? When we look out into the universe through the lens of science, it seems as though we are looking at an unfinished, ever-evolving puzzle, and through predicting, hypothesizing, and testing things that we learn, we can start to see the puzzle pieces and where they belong. So from a scientific point of view, asking why we exist might not have an answer right now, because we haven't completed the puzzle, and it doesn't seem very clear if the puzzle can even be finished. Science is a tool used for understanding, It's a methodology for knowledge, and the more we start to understand, the more complexity we start to see in everything that exists, from single-cell organisms to solar systems, from the quantum realm all the way to massive galaxies filled with billions of stars. The fact of the matter is that everything is here, maintaining a balance in order to exist. So I wonder what we should do with our existence. Eckhart Tolle has said, "The truth of who we are is never found in the past or future. It is here, now, immediate. It seems that our purpose for existence is solely up to us. What do you want to do with this opportunity?" When we look out at our planet, we begin to understand how every living being's existence relies on Earth. We are just one of millions of species existing simultaneously with us on our planet. We rely on each other, and we can see how an imbalance of priorities can affect all of us. We are a part of nature, and we have the opportunity to flourish and grow like a rainforest. But in order to do that, we might need the rainforest. I wonder if the balance that Earth has maintained in order to produce our existence is the same balance that we should produce in our lives. If we cherish our existence, then we should probably cherish the existence of all living beings, because without them, there would probably be no us. We know that we at least have this one life to live and experience as much as we can. We bring meaning to our lives, and we should do the things that make us happy, but we shouldn't get lost in ourselves. On an individual level, sometimes it feels as though we are the most important thing in our existence. But understanding the interconnectedness of everything that exists can transcend us from the self. We are much more than the image or idea of the self. We are not an isolated existence separate from one another. We are the universe expressing and exploring itself. So what kind of existence do we want to leave for our children and for the future of humanity? One where we consume and take, or one where we wonder, grow, and expand like the universe?